Alright, so this is my Royal Palace Guardian Mage Freya deck, or my Freya Freya loop deck, I guess. I don't really have a real name for it, so let's just get into it. The main idea is that I'm using the inter effects of these resonators to bounce my opponent's resonators back to his hand, and then just that way I keep field presence while my opponent keeps losing field presence. So I constantly recycle him, restart his field. So I reduce his field presence while increasing my own. So for example, Thetis, I think I pronounced that right, Thetis, the wise goddess. Her inter ability is put target resident on top of its owner's main deck. Really good ability that would prevent my opponent from drawing anything new, anything good. If I keep recycling the same useless card, useless resonator to the top of my opponent's deck, that benefits me. So being able to bounce her back to my hand, play her again, bounce her back to my hand, play her again, will be really useful. I can make it where my opponent won't get anything good. Swordsman of the Full Moon has flying, enter ability, return target resident to his owner's hand. Simple enough, alright? As you can see, most of these have pretty high costs, essentially converted cost of 4, converted cost of 4. This one converted cost of 3. It's not a cheap costing deck, but once you get to your 4th mana, the deck will run pretty smoothly. But there are some cheap cards in here that can help you stall long enough to get to the 4th mana, and then you can really run the deck. High Tide Dancer, enter ability, return target resident to his owner's hand. See, simple enough. It's a simple concept. Just bounce your opponent's resonators to their hand or top of the deck, and I'll have resonators on the field, and then they'll summon their resonator again, and then I'll just summon another resonator that bounces back to the hand. Then I can attack them, and then just keep doing that, and just have full field control. Got Grave Phantom, which has life break ability. Put this card into your hand. And then it has a continuous effect. The top card of your opponent's graveyard is a resonator. The attack, defense, and abilities of the card. This card has those abilities as well. Otherwise, this does nothing if it's a spell chant, a spell card, or a addition card. But if it's a resonator, I gain the attack and defense and abilities of that card. Then we have Cheshire Cat, the Grinning Remnant. She costs 1 blue will to play. Enter ability, draw 2 cards, then put 1 card from my hand on top of my main deck. So this will be part of the draw engine, and if I bounce her back to my hand, every turn I can play her, draw 2, put 1 on top of my deck, draw 2, put 1 back top of my deck, and just keep on going with that concept, so that I can draw into all my good cards, my spells, for example. Crime of Wave and Abandon. Cancel target spell, so this is a counter spell. Cancel target spell, return it to the owner's hand, then draw a card from your main deck. Typically we use this on a resonator, just so that we can draw a card and keep your opponent from having a resonator on the field. We can also use this on a spell, especially if the spell would potentially have destroyed all your resonators, for example. Then we have addition field, so this will stay on the field for you to constantly use it, and it has a continuous effect. All resonators come into the field rested, so they'll come into the field tapped. since my resonators have the effect that they bounce resonators, they'll come into play tapped, they'll bounce my opponent's resonators to the hand, then on my opponent's turn, when they replay the resonator, it'll just come into play rested, and on my turn, I unrest all my resonators, and then I can attack. And since the resonators are rested, I can attack them while they're in the rest position, and, you know, take them down, kill them one by one, so that way I still have field presence, my opponent does not. Also, this is useful against any rush decks, any decks with swiftness, because since the resonator will come into play rested, they can't attack me, so that's obviously really useful. Wash Away, instant spell chant. It has a life break ability, return target resonator to its owner's hand, which is pretty good. Then it has its regular effect, which is return target resonator to its owner's hand. Since it's an instant, you can play it during the player's turn. You can use it defensively, you can use it offensively, like to bounce something off the field so you can attack with it, or just bounce something you have on your side field back to your hand. Especially if you attack, then you go to main phase 2, then play this, bounce the resonator back to your hand, replay the resonator, so that way you can, you have a resonator to defend with. Aqua Magic Tempest is a spell chant. Essentially, you can only play it on your turn. Return all resonators to its owner's hand. So it's a big board wiper right there. So gotta have big board wipes. Then we have Genesis Creation, which is the only non-blue card in the deck. Genesis Creation has the ability to put one target addition field from your graveyard, and one resonator from your graveyard, and one onto your field. Then you could put up to one target magic stone from your graveyard into your magic stone area. So you can get a field addition field card, a resonator, and a magic stone, which are really, really good. So obviously we have Landing Point of Ice, that is your addition field to add back onto the field. Then you have, all your resonators, when they hit the field, they can bounce. Well, from the graveyard, they won't get their effect. They have to enter from your hand. But you can get Grave Phantom's ability to do what she does. Which will be very useful to copy the effect of a card from your opponent's graveyard. But this is a good way of getting any of your good resonators from the grave onto the field, especially the ones you want to bounce back to your hand and get their effects all over again. Moving on. And then of course you got your 10 water magic stones and your 10 light magic stones, because you're gonna need the light for Genesis Creation, and then of course the water for the remaining cards in your deck, which are water attributes. And that's the end of my Freya water deck.